What is up? I am TJ. This is Uncommon, and so are you. Today's a little bit different. We're talking about the art of listening. Like I said, today's a little bit different. We want to respect the recent events of our family and friends of the Black community. We want to listen and just help encourage change toward some of the racial injustices that have happened recently. If you have seen anything in the news, obviously you're well aware of what is happening. And so we figured we would take a break from our normal kind of video and do something just a little bit more subdued and also focused today. We're just going to jump right in. It'll be short and to the point. I think we've had a heart condition in this world ever since the Garden of Eden, and it's only gotten worse over time, as you can see of how much hate there is in the world today. And so I wanted to step in here today and just talk about a few things. And so 1 John 4:20 through 21. If anyone says, I love God and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother whom he has seen cannot love God whom he has not seen. And this commandment we have from him, whoever loves God must also love his brother. And so I wanted to intro with that just to set the tone of we need to spend time communicating with each other, and doing that will open some doors for change. I spent the last week, and I'll spend another week or so talking to some of my Black brothers and sisters in Christ, family and friends that are going through this differently than we are, or I am. And when I've spoken to a couple of people already, is the overwhelming theme was they want us to listen to them, and that there must be change. And if you're listening to someone go through this, one of our minority brothers and sisters go through this, just listen. Don't try to fix anything. Just listen. I got a chance to speak to a couple of people. One young man, Black gentleman, he's married. His father was a policeman for 17 years. He's getting ready to go into the force next year. Another gentleman lives in Cleveland and is fearful of going to his place of employment. He owns his own business because of the color of his skin and the protests that are going on there. This young man is African American that is fearful of what's going on right now. And so we got a chance to listen to him talk yesterday, and we just listened. And so I think it's important for us to listen and learn from people who are going through this differently than we are. And so if you're in that position, I suggest you let them share their heart. And you're going to hear fear. You're going to hear frustrations, a range of emotion. Don't take this as a personal attack. They're probably just venting, especially since they may not run across someone who is willing to listen. Don't make it about you. Don't insert things of, well, I do this, or what about this group, or that. Let them experience this and learn from that. And then when they're finished, ask, how can I help? And let them maybe suggest or open a dialogue of how we can help that person in the Black community in general. Because things have to change in light of the recent events of the murder of Mr. Floyd. Things have to change, and they have to change now. I think you're seeing, hopefully, peaceful protests around this topic. And so personal change, pray for wisdom, pray for how you reflect Jesus to others. Change the way you look, and I'm talking to me as well, look, speak, treat, and think of other people. Spending time learning what others may be going through would educate us of a different perspective of this situation. Spending more time seeking God's will rather than getting news updates, because some of that is just going to feed a fire and division in our country. And so I think change is definitely going to start with each person individually. And if you are stuck in your own rhetoric, no matter what race you are, change is going to be difficult from a heart standpoint. And so I want to read another verse to you. Colossians 3:12 through 15. Here there is no Greek, no Jew, circumcised or uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave or free, but Christ is in all. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body, you were called to peace. We have a few articles that we will post in the comments of this video. This has been pre-recorded ahead of time, so you'll see these in the comments and not going along with the video itself. The first one is how we speak to each other matters to God. The next one is real integrity in a filtered world. The next one is love thy neighbor. And the final article is the power and destruction of angry words. Our devotion, we do not have anything on racial reconciliation. We will be writing something about that soon. But our devotion called Words is a great one to read from a perspective of how we communicate to people. And so I pray that change comes to this country and this world, as we can only show the love of God to people when we actually love people. So since you're going to be something, be uncommon.